Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of Will It Develop. My name is Jerry, and today we're going to be testing out the Super HG from Fuji from the early 1990s. Alright, so let's go ahead and get into it and open up this roll of film. So, this is a 24 exposure roll of, like I said, Super HG 400 from Fuji. This roll itself says it says processed before 1992, so oops, we didn't get there. But we're gonna see what we have. And you're gonna get a little behind the scenes here. I accidentally rolled this back into the canister. This is the second take of this, but this is a 24 exposure roll, and kind of cool. Like I love the almost like maroon color here. So we're gonna be able to shoot this up today a little bit later. And so we have the box here, and one of the things that I've really enjoyed getting all these film stocks from all these kind of different places is that when you open them up, like every one of them's a little bit different inside. So this one just had a little bit of a, information on how to set it up and everything. But then there's also like this kind of, hopefully you can see that. And so also just kind of gives all these different settings for different lighting scenarios and everything. That'd have been really great when it was new. Now it's really not important because we don't need that anymore. So, but what we're gonna do, we're gonna load this up, take it outside, go for a little walk around the neighborhood. I'm planning to shoot this one, I think around like I think I'm gonna go like 100 ISO. For most of these, if you've been watching for a while, I always open up a little bit more than I probably need because film requires a lot of light. And especially these film stocks that we don't know how they've been stored and everything like that. So we're gonna take it out and just go around the neighborhood and grab some stuff really quick. I'm shooting it with a little bit of an automatic camera for one to see if it'll work. Here, I'll show you what I'm gonna shoot it in. So the Olympus Zoom, and so I actually picked this up from Japan a couple years ago, I think for like $1 or $2, like the equivalent of that US. And so, but I've been wanting to try it out for quite some time and never really had a reason to. But I grabbed a new battery, everything seems to be firing, so we're gonna take it. And this one's kind of cool because it has a little bit of a panorama mode as well. And so we'll play around with that a little bit. But I'm gonna head out, get this all shot, developed. There'll be a little time lapse with a little bit of history of this film stock, and we'll be right back with the images. So, see you soon. A little bit of history. HG stands for high grade quality, and this was a film that was supposed to rival Kodak's Gold series. It was also fast, but it had a fine grain structure, so it was a 400 ISO film. Fuji was pushing multi-layer emulsion technology in the 90s, and HG benefited from this, and so with the multi-layer, you got better color representation, things like that. And it aged well, is what they're saying. So you might get some faded magentas or cyans, but once we get this developed and everything, you'll see. So here we go. Good news and bad news. Good news, we got images. Bad news, I totally messed up. In putting these together, as I said earlier, I was going to use the Olympus Zoom. The good thing is that the camera worked. Everything was fine with the camera. I had planned to try to kind of adjust for the ISO using this camera, and just a lot going on right now, and I totally forgot. And so the images are severely underexposed, as you'll see on the screen right now, but also kind of really cool because of that. So my parents were in town a couple weeks ago, and this was us going on a walk. So here's my dad, my stepmom, and my wife. And so the images came out, but the exposure was way off, and I miscalculated. And moral of the story is I probably, using these 30, 40-year-old films, probably shouldn't be using a point and shoot, which is the first thing, this is the first time I've ever done the point and shoot. And so, because I wanted to try it out, well, for one, for like that panorama, so you'll like see here the panorama function that is there. And so with the underexposing of it, what was kind of cool is like all these weird color shifts. And so when I pulled the negative out, it was so dense. And so barely any light got to this film, but I kind of like it. I kind of like the green, and when I started this project and wanted to put all these film stocks together and try to capture the neighborhood and everything, to be fair, I didn't know if any of them would actually work. And so when we're doing these kind of things, I don't think it's really important if it works. And so only had one roll so far that didn't work, and that was because of we just didn't have the developer. They don't make that anymore, and so I knew that one was kind of a wild card. But this is just in normal C41, and so we have some images that are unique and different, and you're not going to get that in a digital camera. You're not going to get that with regular film unless you severely underexposed it and then stored it improperly for a long time. And so I think that's just kind of the fun of shooting these expired films is I'm in the moment, I'm enjoying what's happening around me, and I'm not really worried about the final outcome. And I don't know, that gives me a lot of peace, is just staying in the process and not really caring how the end result comes out. And so for some people, that's not going to be the case. And like I've said multiple times on the channel, if you are doing something that's for pay or something that you really don't want to come out bad, then I would probably stay away from these kind of experiments and these kind of film stocks. But if you're really wanting to do something that's unique and you're not going to see it anywhere else, then check it out. So with that being said, we'll put up these the final images here at the end. We'll have them over on our Instagram as well, so you'll be able to see all of them a little bit more up close and really see how bad the color shifts are. And so like, subscribe, do all those kind of things. If you're really enjoying this channel, please help us share it. It doesn't get any further if you don't spread it as well as what we're doing. So if this has been beneficial to you and been helpful to you, then please do that. So I hope you're all having a great week, and get out there and shoot some film.